Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to drop in to share a little more than a brief update. Um, I have a lot to share this time. I just don't know exactly where to start. But I will say um, I am almost at the 3 year mark with this vocal cord paralysis. For those of you who may not be aware, I had a mass on my thyroid that was discovered through a back x ray in July of 2018. Long story short, in the process of removing the mass, my left, or the nerve that controls my left vocal cord, was stretched, and as a result, caused vocal cord paralysis. Since the original thyroid surgery, I've had three vocal cord implants with varying results, but none that resulted in the full restoration of my voice. So I have continued on this particular journey because I just believe somewhere down the line that my full voice will recover. I do understand that having this implant that I have now, anytime you have something that's not an original part introduced into your body, then it stands to reason it's not going to be 100%. You might get to 99.9 or 99.8. But anyway, I just wish I had known prior to my surgery that there was even a possibility that I could lose my voice. And for the last 2.5, almost 3 years, actually since the surgery, that's some of the frustration and things that I've kind of been having to work through. Yes, I've gotten a little angry, a little down. I do understand things can happen. I just would have liked to have been able to been made aware that this particular injury is a common and known injury. It wasn't known to me at any point in time. So it just would have helped me at least to set my expectations more realistically going into the surgery as opposed to getting everything, on the back end. Anyway, that's kind of all in the past, but that's some of the things that I've kind of struggled with these last few years. But I've come to grips with, things happen. And in my case, I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. God causes all things to work together for our good. And a lot of good has come out of this. The list is just too numerous to name at this particular point in time. But there has been some good to come out of this. Still in the process, if you will, because I haven't given up hope and I don't plan to. But some of the things I've done in the last, maybe couple of months or so, I discovered a support group on Facebook, and that's really been an eye-opening experience. There are about 2.2 million people in the Facebook group, and many of them have some type of vocal cord dysfunction. Not necessarily, in my case, I just have one paralyzed vocal cord, but there are some that have two, some that have trachs and all kinds of things. But I just said all that to say that there are many in there, just like myself, who have been injured during a surgery. And I mean, it takes a toll on your overall life, your overall well-being, if you will. You go through the anger, but you got to forgive. Then you're trying to map your way through. And I will say for me, it's taken a lot for me to learn that I have to advocate for myself. I have to be my own advocate. And that's kind of a daunting task when you don't really have the knowledge, if you will. Because if you don't know the right questions to ask, then you won't ask them. But for whatever reason, I discovered this group on Facebook, and it's really been a blessing and an eye-opener. and it has equipped me to be able, to ask some of those questions and to address some of the concerns that I have. I am 4 months post-op. I just had surgery in January of this year, and hopefully that's my last one. I flew to Denver, Colorado, and had what's called a thyroplasty and also an arytenoid abduction. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But anyway, it's where they, in addition to, you know, moving the vocal over to the middle so they can meet and try to make sound, they also pull over some of the cartilage to provide the support for the vocal cord also. But anyway, I had my 4 month checkup just a couple of weeks ago, and we're not hearing the kind of progress that we thought we would at this stage, in it. But we're not giving up hope. One of the things I discovered is, or asked to be done, is to have allergy tests, because this is something that, kind of came up in the group. Now, I've never been one to be allergic to anything, but I've also been living in Oklahoma for the last 32 years now. Well, almost 32 years. So, of course, allergies was the last thing on my mind, but we've been trying to figure out where a lot of my shortness of breath comes from. Some of it does come from the vocal cord paralysis, but I mean mine has been pretty pretty steady, to say the least. But with just regular tasks, bend down to tie my shoe, out of breath, can't really walk a flight of stairs, and saying all this to say, you can see how life changing this has been for me without me having to go into just a whole ton of details. But I'm just saying, everyday tasks become a little more challenging with this particular ailment. But I asked to be tested for allergies, and I did. I had the test just a couple of weeks ago. I've been trying to, allow time for the vocal cord to just heal, naturally, just the healing process, because I knew with this last surgery that it could take a little bit longer than maybe what the normal turnaround will be. But the thing is, everybody is different. For some people that have this surgery, they get their voice back in 2 weeks. For some people, it's a year. For other people, it's 6 months, and so on. For me, I'm not putting healing on a time frame because I'm not in charge of it. But I just like to see, or just like to know, that I'm making some type of progress. So I had the allergy test a couple of weeks ago, and basically discovered I'm allergic to everything outside that you can name. I'm talking trees, grass, I mean, you name it. And I can't even sing no more, but you name it, in the Shirley Caesar voice, you name it. So anyway, and today was my very first day going to the allergy clinic to get the injections. I have a real long-term plan. I have to get injections once a week, a shot in both arms. They'll start with the minimum dosage and kind of get me up, basically trying to desensitize me to all of these different allergens. So with that being said, I'm very hopeful that since allergens irritate your vocal cords, that this is what's the word I want? I guess the remedy that has been, I'm saying the remedy, that I'm thinking that we've identified the item, just for lack of a better word, y'all, that has been maybe prolonging the healing process with my vocal cords. I'm in good spirits. I just, of course, don't talk as much as I used to. I get, vocal cord fatigue, and the voice just runs out. It just completely goes. But I do try to, just do my part. I recognize my limitations. I'm still me. I'm still Yolanda. I am, as best as I can be. And I'm trying not to you know, lose my joy over anything because it's something I can't control. Um, but at the same time, it takes something out of you, if you will. But I'm not sad anymore. And of course, I'm a forgiving person. So, yes, I forgive the doctor that did my surgery. I mean, he's a guy had 20 years experience, so that's not even it. But as I said before, just having known some things up front would have helped the expectation, as far as the possible outcome. Um, and I just keep saying, well, I got to get my breath, and I'm trying not to talk too fast. So, in my group on Facebook, one of the members shared an organization that advocates for vocal cord dysfunction, and it's called dysphonia.org. And I'm just going to show you two of the cute little masks that I got to where it really helps me because, like right now, I can't go through the drive through line. I can't talk enough for the people to hear me, especially when there's a lot of background noise. So I don't even do the drive throughs anymore. You always have an alternative plan. I usually have a grand with me or my husband or somebody if I have to do something in the drive through. But anyway, but they shared this particular organization. I happened to go on the site, just kind of, looking at information and different studies and things that they're discovering as far as vocal cord paralysis. And the thing is, there's not a one size fit all solution. They're still studying things and discovering a lot of different things um, about vocal cord dysfunction. So anyway, I went on the site and I found these cute little masks. Hopefully you can see it. This one just says, "Bear with me." Yeah, you can read it there. I'm putting it a little closer to the camera. So this is the one I wear the most. Most people do read it. There are some that will ask me questions, and I'm kind of looking at them, hoping that they'll not keep looking at my eyes, but look at my mask and see what it's saying. And then sometimes I'll just pull the mask over and say, what I need to say to the person. But people have been pretty nice um, in the midst of this all. Here's the second one I got. I haven't worn this one yet. It's a little bold. Can you see it? Yeah, this one just says I'm not sick. Ain't that it? Because I'm not sick. But surprisingly, that's what a lot of people assume. And, it kind of wears on you having to explain, I'm not sick, got a paralyzed vocal cord. But anyway, I'm still here. I'm encouraged. I'm really doing my best to, just to stay positive and keep my head up. Many of you know how much I love to talk, how much I love to sing, and to just, kind of have those things that, I guess that we would normally take for granted that you can't even do no more. I mean, I can't even hold a note, but it's okay. It's really okay. I'm just in that place now where I've accepted some of the reality of it, but I'm not ever gonna eliminate the God factor because I know, just like the woman in the Bible, just to touch the hem of the garment, just one. But for whatever reason, I'm still going through it. It has a purpose. I remember hearing a message not long ago saying, my glitch is for his glory. So that's the way I'm seeing it, It's been a long journey. And again, I haven't checked in maybe as often really as I kind of really wanted to. But I didn't have a lot of new stuff to share, and I just didn't want to be on here just doing a video just to be doing it, just to be talking. But I waited, like I said, until after my 4-month post-op checkup, and then I also wanted to wait until I did, the allergy testing so I could share that with you also. But if you have any questions for me, whoever may be watching regarding the vocal cord dysfunction, feel free to drop the question. I'll do my best to respond as quickly as I can. In the meantime, Keep me in your prayers. Um, it's been a long journey, but God has been my sustainer. He truly has. And, just like Paul, sometimes you have a thorn in your side, and God reminds me daily that His grace is sufficient for me. And truly it is. There are challenges sometimes, but I just always know that what I need for the day's journey is provided for me. And I just keep on going, keep my head up, and keep moving forward. And yes, y'all notice I'm keep on messing with my hair. It's a new do, kind of. And the color is a little lighter than what I normally wear. And I just love it. Is that all right? Yes, I love it. But anyway, thank you for listening. And I'll come back. I have another follow up with my doctor in September, actually, my birthday month. So, my prayer is that since I've started this allergy regimen, that I will have had enough rounds of the injections that I'm receiving for us to see some type of progress by September. But I'm not, you know, trying to put God on a time frame, but if that indeed is one of the things that has hindered the healing process, if you will, well then we'll see some progress then, because I'm getting these shots once a week, every week, in a shot in both arms, and it's a pretty long term and a pretty aggressive approach. But I never would have ever suspected allergies whatsoever. I've had some, breathing challenges from time to time, and just some scary things, with this vocal cord paralysis. One of the things I experienced about a month or so ago was, just waking up out of a dead sleep. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up just, I just could not catch my breath. Come to find out, what happened was, in the process of breathing, my vocal cord forgot to open for breathing. I hope I'm saying that the right way. Open for breathing, close for whatever you do, swallowing or whatever. That don't sound right. I'm probably saying it backwards, but anyway, it did the opposite of what it was supposed to do, and I could not breathe. I did finally, catch my breath, and there's a name for this condition. And again, I've had this vocal cord paralysis for almost 3 years this upcoming July. But this was the first time that this ever happened to me. And I kid you not, it scared the living daylights out of me. I thought I was done. My husband was laying there asleep. I didn't even wake him up because, there was nothing he could do. He couldn't give me the breath that I needed to breathe. And so I started trying not to, panic, and just, taking little deep breaths, just really, and finally, I was able to breathe. But that condition is called paradoxical vocal fold motion. You can Google it and get, the actual definition of that. Thankfully, it is treatable. That's the other thing I didn't mention. I have also been doing speech therapy, but the speech therapy is not the talking part of it. It's been for the breathing. And so with that particular vocal cord, what did I call it? Paradoxical vocal fold motion. The treatment for that is breathing exercises. So I've had a number of rounds of those, and I still continue to do them. But I've just kind of been trying to apply myself to healing. Still working on my book, not as diligently as I would like to. And just kind of off and on, just as God gives me revelation, and, I'm able to get up and, kind of jot down some things. But I'm going to get it done. It's still out there in the forefront of my mind. It's a part of my assignment that I know, no doubt whatsoever. It's just a memoir about me and my late mom. And anyway, this is much longer than what I anticipated doing, but I just wanted to kind of update you, give you, just kind of the gist of things and the meat of the matter. And I hope you've enjoyed the update. And trust me, if there's anything else that changes, either way, I'll be back on here. I'll do another video. But in the meantime, just keep me in your prayers. Know I'm pressing through. God is good. He's with me every day. And I'm just grateful. I'm still grateful to be here and grateful for the journey. I'm not in charge, and then that's okay. I'm walking by faith and not by sight. So keep me in your prayers, and I appreciate you. And thank you again for listening.